Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
Brother, I want you to listen to me so that you understand what we are talking about. Because what we are talking about has a lot to do with our lives and destinies. It has a lot to do with also the program we are going for. We are finally at the week of the program, the prophetic conference. And I believe, God, you have been praying and preparing for the program. And I want to talk to you before we go into the program so that you can use the few days of this week before the program starts to tidy up some things and get some things in place so that we go into the program fully ready and prepared. Because the Father is ready for us. Heaven has prepared already. And as such, we don't want to go there unprepared. We don't want to come there on our own and meet some surprise and shocks. And that's why, brethren, I want to talk to you today on what I call the missed destiny opportunities. You must know one thing with man's destiny. You must know one thing with our destiny and the way our destiny moves. That's why we are all represented by stars. And you know the movement of stars is a mystery. There are stars that sometimes they will tell you that this particular sun or this particular planet or this particular earth goes through and comes across a particular planet or a particular earth once in their lifetime, that they will never come across again. In their rotation, in their orbiting, in everything they do, they might come closer to each other and impact each other, affect each other, only for that very single moment. If anything should happen and they miss each other, their effect and their impact, which they are destined to create, will be missed forever. Brethren, our lives, our destinies are stars. And as we move across in life, you might not know it, you might not see it. There are destinies and stars we come across. All of that destiny, all of that human beings that we come across, some of them are divinely arranged. They are destinally arranged. And if you miss the opportunity, what they are supposed to do in your life, if you miss it, that is it. That is it. I'm going to show you some things in the scriptures. Look at Ecclesiastes chapter 9. You remember what we are talking about still? Do you remember what the topic? The missed destiny opportunities. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, look at verse 10. It says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with all thy might. Any opportunity that presents to you, anything your hand finds to do, any opportunity that opens up for you to do anything, he said what? Grab it. Grab it. Do it with all your might. I have seen people in these short years I've spent on earth. I have seen people that God presented opportunities to them and they missed it and it's gone forever and ever. I remember one day we were doing 13 hours prayer program in Stonehill Business Park. 13 hours. As the prayer was going on, the Lord spoke to me about somebody. He said, tell that person, a great storm is coming. He said, but if you stay with me, I will save you from the storm. If you remain with me, I will protect you from the storm. If you leave me alone, the storm will break you in pieces. And I stopped the prayer. I left the people to be praying. I called the person into my office. I took the person inside my office. And I gave the message to the person. I said, look at what the Father told me now. Look at what the Father said I should tell you. And the person broke down in the office and started to cry. I left him there. I went back to the prayer we were praying. I will expect such a person to stand with the Lord. The message is so straight and so clear. And the person now packed his load and went away. Do you know, as I'm talking to you now, the storm has shredded that man. If you hear the kind of stories coming out of that man's life, you will not believe it. The storm has come. Life's opportunities that present itself. That's what the Bible. He said, whatsoever your hand findeth to do, do it with all your life. Do it with all your life. There was a sister, before we even came to Diadem. I've told you this before. That time, because the school we were using for fellowship, we had no access to that place 24/7. We have access to this place. So when we come to fellowship, there are some deliverances I cannot do that are too sensitive. So I had to be going to her house in Luton to go and do deliverance for her. I would drive from here with my wife. We'll go and pray in her house. She didn't value all those things. I thought she would key into those things I was doing. I thought she would grab it with all her might according to this scripture. She started to joke with it, joke with it, joke with it. The kind of powers following that sister, the kind of powers. It's not any power. It's not anything. Not too many pastors on earth can deal with that situation. Not too many pastors. Not even too many pastors have the time themselves to devote to you to fight that kind of battle for you. Because one, her birth, it was during one of the deliverances, her birth, the way she was conceived, her mother was over 50 years old, according to the marine power that manifested. He said the mother was over 50 years old, and they had no child, and the mother came to them in the water and begged them for a child. They took a fish and turned it to a child and gave to the mother, and that's this person. And do you know that mysteriously, even though the sister is born again, she doesn't eat fish. She doesn't eat, and she can't explain why she was not eating fish. And so the power was claiming that this person is my child, is my fish. And they now packaged all those things and took it to Jupiter and sealed it in Jupiter. And there are 6 idols from the foundation that are witnesses to all these things. Now, brethren, which pastor can devote the time to fight that kind of battle for you? Can leave everything they are doing and even put their hand to go? Because the more you go into that kind of battle, the more you yourself will be involved. We started this battle. This sister didn't take it seriously. Till the day I was leaving that church. After the whole thing, I preached my last message that place. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. I preached that message and I called her. I said, I'm leaving today. He said, what of my deliverance? That's the only thing she shouted. All this while I've been there with her. 3 years. She did not take the deliverance seriously until the husbandman has packed his load. That's what the Bible says. Is there anything your hand findeth to do? If God presents opportunity for you, do not joke with it. Grab it with all your hand. It's not going to be there forever. Look at what we say. Okay, let's continue to read. He said, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. Verse 11. I returned. This is Solomon now. In his wisdom, he said, this is my observation. I returned and I saw under the sun that the race is not it's not how sharp you are. It's not how intelligent you are. It's not how good you are. It's opportunity that comes across your life. Do you know there are some people, when they were in school, they are so brilliant, so intelligent. Those ones that if they are writing an exam, they will look for one blanket to cover themselves so that nobody can copy them. Some of them, if you see them today, there's not life did not present anything to them. He says, not for the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding. Don't you have understanding? Does the whole world not have understanding? Why is every person on earth not rich? He says, not about wisdom, knowledge, understanding, neither bread to the wise, nor rich to, nor yet favor to men of skill. But what happened? And what? Take note of those 2 words. Time, chance. That's opportunity. Chance is called opportunity. He says time. There are times in your life, destiny will move, come across you. Listen, there are people's destiny that are ordained to come across your destiny, to make your destiny to fulfill. And there is a specific time God has ordained for those 2 destinies to meet and align and impact each other, do the work upon each other. That's the opportunity. If you miss that chance, if you miss that opportunity, that is it. That is it. It's gone forever. So that's what he says. He says time. and chance that happened to them all. And do you know time and chance happen to everybody? Happens to everybody. Verse 13. This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. Say, what I'm talking about is serious wisdom. What I'm talking about is pure wisdom, and it's very great to me. Very, very great. Very, very great. So, brethren, we are preparing for a program. We are going for a program we have never done before. I will still tell you more when we get to the program. Because me, myself, since I became a Christian, I've never attended any prophetic conference before. I've never seen where they hold it before. And it's not even common in the Bible. So we are going for one thing we've never done before. So this is what you call chance. This is what you call opportunity. And there's a time allotted to it. The time is going to come around across us. The opportunity is now here with us. Let me show you people that had chances. People that had opportunities. People that had time presented before them, aligned directly with them, and what they did with it. 2 Kings 13, look at verse 14. Prophet Elisha was fallen sick of his sickness, whereof he died. Now, you know how the prophet Elisha took over from Elijah. You remember how they took over? You know how Elisha even came into the life of Elijah. That God told him, he said, go and anoint Elisha to take over from you, anoint Hazael to be king of Syria, and anoint Jehu to be captain of the army. And when he came to Elisha, Elisha was busy in his farm, plowing with 12 yokes of oxen. Very busy farmer, good businessman. And immediately that one cast his mantle upon him, he abandoned everything. In fact, he killed all the animals, roasted them, and shared it to people. All the wood of the business, he used it to roast the animal. That's where he closed the business down and followed Elijah. He followed Elijah. And he started to follow Elijah. And then when Elijah was to be taken away, Elijah said, go back. Did he go back? What was he pursuing? Opportunity. He knew that this is the opportunity for his destiny. He knew this is the time for his destiny. And every person tried to distract him. The sons of the prophet, they were prophesying. He said, keep quiet. I'm not interested in your prophecy. There's something I'm pursuing. Where you know what the time is, the season is, the opportunity God is placing before you, you will not allow distraction. You will not allow distraction. And so when they were now going, and Elijah saw that he could not stop him from following him, he said, what do you want? Ask what you want. And what did he want? He said, I need double portion of your anointing. And he said, this is a hard thing you have said, though. But if you are able to see some mystery, if you see me, if you see not this Elijah that you see, but the true Elijah, if you see the real Elijah, you will get it. And then things that Elijah had never told him before about himself. As they were going, the chariots appeared, the horses appeared, and he screamed. He said, I saw it. I now see who you are. You are the army of Israel. You are the chariots and the horses thereof. And when he saw that thing, he got what he was looking for. That's how he received that power. Do you see the focus? That's what Ecclesiastes was saying. He said, anything your hand findeth to do, concentrate and focus on it. Don't be distracted. Do it with all your life. Elisha focused and got what he was looking for. And then he brought that power. He brought that power. Now look at what followed. He was now sick. And he was going to die. Remember, he's still holding the double portion of anointing, isn't it? And Joash was the son of Ahab, the king of Israel. Joash, the king of Israel, came down unto him and wept over his face and said, look at what Joash said now. Oh, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. He saw that same thing that Elisha saw in Elijah. He saw the real personality, the real being, the real prophet himself. He saw the spirit of the prophet standing, and what he saw there was chariots and horses of fire. And Joash screamed it out. Now, is Joash, being a young king, is he not standing opportunity to collect that thing now, brethren? Is he not standing opportunity to say, my father, don't carry this double portion away. Give it to me. I have seen it. Now let's continue. Verse 15. And Elisha said unto him, take bow and arrows, prophet. Prophetic operations. He said, get a bow and arrow. And he took unto him bow and arrows. And he said to the king of Israel, put thy hand upon the bow. And he put his hand upon it. And Elisha put his hand upon the king's hands. And he said, open the window eastward. And he opened it. Then Elisha said, shoot. And he shot. And he said, the arrow of the Lord's deliverance, and the arrow of deliverance from Syria. For thou shalt smite the Syrians in Aphek, till thou have consumed them. Now, if I were Joash, and I knew the story, how he collected the power from Elijah, I would say, my father, please don't go. Lay hand on me. Transfer this power to me. Give me this power also. Even if it means to drop the king, I'm no longer king, let me be the prophet. Whatsoever you have to do, Father, give me this power. Do you know that Joash, even to do the ordinary prophetic action they gave him, he didn't do it properly. And Elisha died and carried that opportunity away. He carried that power away. He carried that anointing away. And they buried him. And some people enemies were coming. They were trying to bury a dead man. When they saw the enemy, they threw the dead body into the grave of Elisha. And the dead body, as soon as he touched the bones, he jumped up, came back to life again. So which means, even the bones are still carrying that power. And since that generation, nobody has even made effort to say, let's go and collect the power from Elisha. Till God now came and said there is a divine arrow of deliverance and evangelistic ministries. Diadem. That is the arrow of the Lord's deliverance. That's where it came from. The arrow of the Lord's deliverance. And so, brethren, what are we saying in essence? Look at what happened further. Verse 17. And he said, open the window eastward. And he opened it, and he said, shoot, and he shot. And he said, arrow of deliverance, and so on. And then he said, verse 18, and he said, take the arrows. And he took them, and he said unto the king of Israel, smite upon the ground, hit the arrow on the ground, hit it on the ground. And he smote only 3 times and stopped. Hit only 3 times and stopped. And the man of God was wroth and angry, and said, you should have continued smiting non-stop, even 5 or 6 times. That's how you will have wasted the whole of Syria. You will have consumed Syria completely, that they will never stand up again. Because he did not know the level of power in that place. He did not know the level of power around there. He did not know that everything he did there had a meaning. And Joash squandered that opportunity, brethren. He squandered the opportunity and went back home. When you squander divine opportunity, you will go back home to face the reality of life. Joash squandered it and went back to face Hazael, to face the enemy. He saw all the miracles Elisha was doing. He saw all the power that was operating. He did not tap into it. All he was looking for was, solve my problem and let me go home. He did not tap to get the power for himself. Did not tap into it to receive some portion of the power. Just wanted his problem to be solved. 1 Samuel 22. He has been in the land. He has heard the story of Elisha. He has heard how the army of Syria came to come and arrest Elisha, and he smote them with blindness. And since that day, they didn't come back again. He should have known that if I have this kind of power, no enemy can come and harass me again. He allowed that opportunity to slip away. He missed the opportunity. 1 Samuel 22, look at verse 6. 1 Samuel 22, verse 6. I'm showing you people that missed divine opportunities. When Saul, you remember King Saul, when he had, the first problem he had was, he had issue with Samuel, who made him king. He disobeyed God, and all the trouble started to compound in his life. The only person in the whole kingdom that could help Saul to manage his schizophrenia was only David. David was the only one that could use music, use harp, to soothe him, to help him to calm down. Each time David played that thing, it will be helping him. Nobody else in the whole kingdom. Anytime David was not around, the thing got worse. And you know, it's not like now. Assuming it's like this day, they will give him injection, isn't it? And he will sleep for 3 days. But that time, no injection. Nothing. So he discovered David and the men that were with him. Look at the kind of people that surrounded him. Look at the kind of, because he has driven David away. The David God sent to his life to help him manage his madness, he has driven the David away. Now, look at the kind of people that surrounded him now. Now, there were men with him. Now, Saul abode in Gibeah under where? Is that where kings live? When kings begin to live under the tree, don't you know that trouble has started for the whole country? So he was living under the tree in Ramah. Having what? That is a pure chronic madman. Having his spear in his hand. And the people around him do not even think that, look, let's collect this weapon. This man is dangerous. Let's disarm him. Remove spear from his hand. So they left him in his hand. And all his servants were doing what? They watching him. They stand around about him. So the only person that could help him was David. And he threw that opportunity away. He threw the opportunity away. He missed the opportunity. Do you know that in his madness, in his insanity, he was making decisions to go to war when he knew he was unfit? And he went to that war. Have you seen a madman in war before? It was easy for the Philistines to kill him. Very, very easy. They killed him and cut off his head. The person that would have helped him, he drove the person. He missed the opportunity. He missed the opportunity. He turned himself to the enemy of David. He was now left with people that were unprofitable in his life. 1 Samuel 19. I'm showing you people that missed divine opportunities. 1 Samuel 19. Look at verse 1. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son and to all his servants that they should kill David. So he made it a government policy. My servants, you, my soldiers, you police, everybody, our agenda now is to kill David. Verse 2. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David. And Jonathan told David, saying, Saul, my father, seeketh to kill thee. Now therefore, I pray thee, take heed to thyself until the morning, and abide in a secret place, and hide thyself. He said, hide, your life is not safe. Verse 3. And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where thou art, and I will commune with my father of thee, and what I see, that will I tell thee. Verse 7. And Jonathan called David, and Jonathan showed him all those things. And Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in his presence as in time past. And there was war again. And David went out and fought with the Philistines and slew them with a great slaughter. And they fled before him. Verse 9. And the evil spirit from the Lord was upon Saul, as he sat in his house with his javelin in his hand. And David played with his hand. And Saul sought to smite David even to the wall with the javelin. Why the people did not object and say, King, this javelin, let's help you to keep it away. They allow him to be holding that javelin. Any movement, he will throw the javelin. But he slipped away out of Saul's presence, and he smote the javelin into the wall, and David fled and escaped that night. Verse 11. Saul also sent messengers unto David's house and watched him, and to slay him in the morning. And Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, If thou save not thy life tonight, tomorrow thou shalt be slain. So Michal let David down through a window, and he went and fled and escaped. Escaping. Take note of all the language. Escape. Verse 13. And Michal took an image and laid it in the bed, and put a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster, and covered it with a cloth. And so they deceived the soldiers. Verse 17. And Saul said unto Michal, Why hast thou deceived me so, and sent away my enemy, that he is escaped? And Michal answered Saul, He said unto me, Let me go. Why should I kill thee? So David fled and escaped, and came to where? Samuel, to Ramah. He ran to prophet Samuel in Ramah. Does Samuel have an army? No. Samuel doesn't have soldiers. Doesn't have police security to protect them. And this is the king of the land with the whole army and the security agencies. So he ran to Samuel in Ramah and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he and Samuel went and dwelt in Naioth. So he was now living with Samuel. Verse 19, and it was told Saul, saying, behold, David is at Naioth in Ramah. Somebody came and leaked the secret. He said, the David you are looking for is with Samuel. They are living together in Naioth in Ramah. Verse 20, and Saul sent messengers, soldiers, to take David, go and arrest him and bring him here, so that we can kill him. And when they saw, take note of what they saw. When these messengers they sent, when they came to Naioth in Ramah, they came near Samuel's house. They saw the company of what? Prophesying. Samuel was holding a prophetic conference. This is the only instance of prophetic conference in the Bible. Samuel was holding a prophetic conference with company of prophets. They were all prophesying. Everybody was in the spirit, prophesying. And Samuel was doing what? Was the minister, standing over them and ministering, appointed over them. And the Spirit of God was what? Upon the messengers of Saul. Why? There was a ring of power, a ring of prophetic power that surrounded that territory, that surrounded that environment. The moment you cross into that ring, the moment your leg enters that circle, you will experience that power. So the messenger, the soldiers, and where is David? Where is Samuel? Immediately they entered that circle. The power of prophecy took over them. They also threw away their gun and everything and started to prophesy. They were not part of the program. They were not part of the prophetic program. They didn't come there to attend the prophetic program. They only crossed the ring of power. They only entered, they trespassed into the circle of power. And immediately, they started to experience something. Verse 21. And when it was told Saul, he sent other messengers. He said, don't mind those ones. He sent another group again. And they, as soon as those ones too entered, they started to prophesy also. Then he sent the third group. The third group also entered and they started to prophesy also. And the problem with the prophesying is that the moment they start prophesying, they don't go home again to go and tell Saul, say, look at what happened to us. They just sit down there and continue to prophesy. And you know prophecy, you can sit down with prophecy for days. So they sat there prophesying. Verse 22. Then went he also. So Saul now said, okay, if all of you are now doing this to me, let me go by myself. So he stood up and went to Ramah in Naioth by himself. So he went also to Ramah and came to a great well that is in Seku, that great well. And he asked and said, where are Samuel and David? And one said, behold, they be at Naioth in Ramah. And he went thither to Naioth in Ramah. And what happened to him? The Spirit of God came upon him. And he went on and was prophesying. He also has stepped into the ring. He started to prophesy. And he continued his prophecy until he even reached Naioth in Ramah. His son even tried. Maybe because of the spirit of madness and all those things, that one was able to get him far. The other ones didn't get that far. The other one ended in the boundary of the ring. So he was able to continue prophesying until he got to Naioth in Ramah. And look at what follows in verse 24. And he stripped off all his clothes. He naked himself. And prophesied before Samuel. He saw Samuel face to face. So he started now to prophesy in like manner. And lay down naked all that day and all that night. King was palanga outside, prophesying. The only thing the Bible didn't do us well is to tell us what he was saying. To tell us what kind of things he was prophesying. So he lay naked. They left him. Nobody touched him. Nobody said, look at King of Israel. Nobody bothered. So they left him there to continue to prophesy. And he prophesied, whereby people that passed by say, is Saul also among the prophets? The question I asked is this. Because by biblical camera, the camera of this narrative was following three characters. The camera was following David. The camera was following Saul. The camera was following Samuel. Now, what of David did he prophesy? Where do we see that? So that during this event he prophesied. What I'm trying to drive at is this. Destiny chances, destiny opportunities, they only come once. David had never been in this kind of program before in his life. Do you know David was not invited? He just appeared there by chance. That's what Ecclesiastes says. Say chance happened to everybody. It was because he was running for his life. There was no place to run to again. He ran to that place. He got there by chance. So chance presented this opportunity for him. Did he connect to it? Did he key into it? Do you know King Saul also was not invited also? But he also ventured into it. And even though he was not invited, he prophesied. If David had prophesied, the Bible would have touched it here. Because the camera was on him. So obviously what must have happened in this? That all through the whole prophets, everybody in that place, in that ring of power was prophesying. Only David was standing and watching them. Brethren, I don't want you to become David in this program. As we go into this prophetic conference, I don't want you to come there and be the David. That even mad people going on the streets, they were prophesying. Madman that walked into it by mistake, he prophesied, the Spirit touched him. I don't want you to come there and be watching like David. That the whole program will not impact you. You will not receive any spirit. You will not receive any gift. You will not prophesy anything. Nothing. You just watch and watch everybody prophesying. Anyone that do, your eye will go there. Why do I know that David did not key into this? Look at what he did immediately. 1 Samuel chapter 20. Look at verse 1. Immediately this incident. Do you know that Samuel didn't bother himself about Saul? Why? Because a greater power has neutralized him. The prophetic power has neutralized Saul already. Samuel did not need any army to protect him. Samuel did not need any policemen to come and rescue him from Saul. He had the heavenly army already with him. In fact, that is this for David to be. The safest place to be. But because David did not understand the level of opportunity that was right in his hand. Look at what he did. 1 Samuel chapter 20. Look at verse 1. And David did what? Are you there with me? And David, professional. You know, he has been fleeing all his life. Every time flee, escape, flee, escape. Why will he flee from where? From Naioth in Ramah. Where is he running to? If you run away from the circle of power of Jehovah God, where Samuel himself was, where are you going to run to? Who is going to protect you? Who is going to save you? He ran away from. Should he ever leave that place? The place should remain forever his home. He shouldn't have departed from that place. Because as long as Samuel was there, and the prophets were there, there's no King Saul that can touch him there. Now look at what he did. Sometimes, maybe, because that period, David was still younger. He was still younger. You know, that period, his brain could have been preoccupied with the troubles of life. We can go to a program like this, and you fill your brain with troubles. You'll be doing buying and selling in your head. Buying and selling in your mind. You buy this one, you sell it the other side. You buy the other one, you sell it the other side. You occupy yourself with all those buying and selling. Maybe that's what David was thinking. Maybe that's why he couldn't connect to the program. So the next thing, the thing that was pursuing him, say, pack your load. He ran away, he fled. And where did he go to? He came and said before Jonathan, can Jonathan save him? Can Jonathan save him? Because even Jonathan himself, there was a time his father threw javelin at him. Jonathan cannot save him. What have I done? What is my iniquity? You see that kind of a thing. If David had keyed to that program and prophesied for 2 nights in that place, he will not be looking for human sympathies anymore. He will not be looking for human sympathies. All he wants is Jonathan to embrace him and hug and cry again. And what have I done? What is my iniquity? What's my sin before your father that he seek my life? Verse 3. And David swore moreover and said, thy father certainly knoweth that I have found grace in thy eyes. And he said, let not Jonathan know this, lest he be grieved. But truly as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, there is but a step between me and death. That's the fear. That's the buying and selling. Hey, this thing, one day, this man will kill me. This man will kill me one day. Is he himself that has been protecting himself from all those javelin? He says it's only one step between him and death. So he ran to Jonathan. When he saw that Jonathan could not save him, look at what he did again. 1 Samuel 21. 1 Samuel 21. Because when you leave God's opportunity of protection, do you know that all this battle will have just solved right there? Because King Saul, I'm sure, after nakeding himself and prophesying for how many days, he will never go back to Naoth in Ramah again. Never. Even if they tell him, David, he says, let him stay, I'm not interested. He will never return back there because he knows if he go back there again, what is going to happen? That is the place David will have remained. But David ran away from under protection because he did not understand spiritual things. Brethren, if you don't understand spiritual things, and we go to this program, the first thing you begin to calculate, so this is what I paid 156 for. You begin first of all to begin to calculate a lot of things in your head because you don't know the value of spiritual things. 1 Samuel 21, look at verse 1. Then David came to Nob, to Ahimelech, the priest. So he ran now to the priest. And Ahimelech was what? Do you see the person you are running to? You see self is was Samuel afraid? No. The priest you run to now, the priest himself is afraid. So Ahimelech was afraid. When he saw David, he said, hey, and you know, true. David running to that man. Saul went and wiped out that man and his family. Slaughtered all of them. Saul killed Ahimelech and all his family because David came there. So that's why the man was afraid. The man cannot save himself. Not talk of saving David. And he said unto him, why art thou alone and no man with thee? Verse 8. And David said unto Ahimelech, and is there not here under thy hand a spear or sword? A spear. He said, do you have a spear? You know, where he was in the house of Samuel, he did not need spear or sword. Do you understand me, brethren? Because the angels of God, the spirit of prophecy takes care of the battle. When Saul came there, did Samuel draw sword? Samuel didn't bring out any weapon. Nobody touched him. The Lord took care of everything. Now, he's looking for sword and spear. That's why he ran away from protection, from divine opportunity, and ran to the place he will be looking for warfare, where he will be sweating. So he said, do you have here anything, sword or spear, under your hand? For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapon with me, because the king's business requires haste. Verse 9. And the priest said, the sword of Goliath the Philistine. Where did Goliath come from? Philistine, which town? Gath. Good. Whom thou slewest in the valley of Elah, behold, it is here wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take it, for there is no other save that here. And David said, there is none like that, give it to me. So he collected the sword of Goliath. And where did he move to next? Verse 10. And David arose and did what? Fled again. Brethren, we have been fleeing for too long. We have fled enough. Let's go into the ring of power, into the circle of power, where you don't need to run from anything. The powers of God will take care of the rest. So he now fled that day for fear of Saul and went to Achish, the king of... Can you imagine? You carry the sword of Goliath. You carry it back again to Goliath's town. When you appear there, the first of all thing they will recognize is what? They will say, where did you get that sword from? Is that not the sword of Goliath? And when he arrived in Gath, immediately they recognized him. What did he do? He turned to a madman. He pretended to be mad. He started to pour saliva and scratch on the door and behave like a madman. Did he need all those things? If he had grabbed the opportunity. Remember what Ecclesiastes said, brethren. He said, time and opportunity, they happen to all men. It's not by how you can fight or how you can run. He said, anything the opportunity gives you, grab it with all your hand. Because the moment he slips away, that's it. Now, do you see how far away he's going now? Do you see how far away he's going? Now, first of all, they will document him. They will document him, their record, in the Philistinian record. One immigrant came here, a madman. He said his name is David, and so on. So, brethren, this program we are going for, I will tell you more about it when we get there. All the things the Father has instructed us to do. These are the messages I'm supposed to preach to you there. The Father said, no, we are not going there to preach. He said, preach everything to them today because I have a program for them. So what of our brethren that are not going? When we say we are going to circle of power, what of the brethren that for one reason or the other they are not able to go? What of the brethren that are outside this country? Members of the Adam that are in different places in Nigeria, in other parts of the world. How are they going to join the program? How are they going to benefit from the program? We are going to stream it. But look at what the Father said I should tell you. Numbers chapter 11. Numbers chapter 11. Look at verse 16. And the Lord said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. Verse 17. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the spirit which is upon thee, and I will put it upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. You see, the instruction is clear. 70 of them, bring them into the church, into the tabernacle. That's where I want to do what I want to do. I will take the spirit in you, put it upon all of them, and they will be able to be filled with the Holy Spirit of God. Verse 24. And Moses went out and told the people all the word of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle. So he brought all of them. Verse 25. And the Lord came down in a cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass, that when the spirit rested upon them, what happened immediately? Instantly. All of them started to prophesy. And you can't stop. The moment the spirit of prophecy rests upon them, they continued to prophesy. They couldn't stop anymore. And they did not cease. Look at verse 26. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. Not all the 70 came. 2 couldn't come. 2 of them men were in the camp. They didn't come into the tabernacle. So 2 men were absent. The name of the one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the spirit did what? And they were of them that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle. And they started to prophesy also in the camp. So brethren, whether you are at home and you are not able to go, or whether you couldn't go for one reason or the other, if you connect to the program and you key into the program with all your spirit, the Spirit of God is going to come upon you too. The power of God, the power of prophecy is going to come upon you too. And even right there, wherever you are in your home, you are going to also prophesy. Now look at verse 27. And there ran a young man and told Moses and said, Eldad and Medad, they are prophesying in the camp. They didn't come to the tabernacle. How come? The Spirit also went and rested upon them. Verse 28. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, my Lord Moses, stop them, forbid them. Tell them to stop prophesying. Those 2 men that didn't come. Verse 29. And Moses said unto him, are you envious for me? Are you envious for me? Envious thou for my sake? He said, how I pray, how I wish, how I desire that God will put this spirit upon the whole Israel. That all the people of God, that they will receive this spirit, and all of them will prophesy. Why did Moses wish such a thing? Because the Spirit of God cannot come upon any man, any woman, in this level, in this measure, baptismal measure like this, and you prophesy, your life will never remain the same again. Never. Everything will be totally rearranged in your life. Everything. Number one thing he's going to do is to safeguard you from enemies and attacks. That's number one thing. I showed you that in case of Elijah, Elisha, and the case of Samuel. When you have the spirit of prophecy, there's no enemy that can touch you. No enemy. It reminds me of this particular lady from Uganda when we were still in the other church. She came to the church, and the father told me, he said they gave her witchcraft at the age of 4, and she has grown in it, and she has become very strong and formidable. And the father told me so many other things about her. And she now came for deliverance, and the father has told me what to touch and what to deal with. And I touched those things, I dealt with those things, and then she herself came back to me. And she told me, Pastor, when you finish praying for me, I came to attack you. She told me herself. You know, it's Nigerian people that will never confess anything. Those ones are good. Those ones will tell you. He said, Pastor, I came to attack you. But the more I tried to come closer, you were turning to a mountain. I don't know where to touch. I don't even know how to come closer to you. He said, each time I come to take a step to come, you become like a mountain. So what are we saying in essence, brethren? The spirit of prophecy in your life will turn you to an untouchable thing before the enemy. The least he will do for you is to build that circle of power I was talking about. That ring of power that the enemy that ventures into it, they will not remain the same too. He will naked them immediately. So these are the things. And that's why, brethren, everything that is going to be a distraction to you, drop them at home. Drop them. And prepare yourself this week. I'm going to send out prayer point after this service. Prepare yourself in prayer, in everything. And the Father said, I should warn you. He said, one thing we must deal with is disunity. He said he wants perfect unity in that program. Perfect unity. So that we will not use our own hand to drive his presence and his spirit away. And we are going to pray now. We are going to deal with some things. Let's close our eyes. Let's begin to tell the Lord, my God and my Father, all my sins, all my errors, all my mistakes, all my foolishness, everything in me, all the envy, all the animosity, all the quarreling, the misunderstanding, all the offenses, everything in me that will be a problem to the Spirit of God, that will not allow the Spirit of God to operate in this program. Lord, I stand before you today and I confess them all.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.